Yeah, sure. I mean, that brings up a lot of things that different people have said. Jen mentioned, that she's heard stuff on her side, and I'm going to get to the photographers because I want to hear availability specifically from you guys as well. Because as we've all kind of said, those are the major people that people are looking to, the venue and the photographer. Like, are you guys available? Can we go forward? But before we do that, I do want to round out to the planners, because this has been a very interesting, at least from my point of view, very interesting the way that couples are now responding to us. I think that there has been in some ways, a perception that a planner is for wealthy people. It's not really a practical thing. It doesn't really matter for the everyday person. And I have actually got a lot of feedback. In some cases, people have come back that didn't book me before and been like, okay, so please help. So I want to turn over to the planners now. Khrystyna, you actually put out a post the other day, which I thought summarized this really well in terms of 2020 and 2021 and how dates are booking, and we now have to prioritize these couples. And it's, again, very different for us. So Khrystyna, give us a little bit of perspective on that in terms of dates and availability and what you would kind of suggest to couples about going ahead with booking things or not booking things, your perspective on that.
Yeah, so just to give you, again, I'm sure everybody did this too, but I planned my wedding so well that I, very specifically, obviously blocked off, I didn't take clients for specific dates before and after my wedding. We planned almost a month-long honeymoon to Italy in September. So September being one of the prime months, I didn't book people for that. So all these factors, my fiance's business, just everything, fit into the calendar so perfectly, which now obviously just got thrown out the window. So having a new date now for next summer means we just have to consider that again. So I had some clients already for next summer that we were doing full planning with, which means I had a solid date. But now that more have been, it was kind of on that cusp of more wanted kind of moving to summer weddings next year. And I didn't know yet what my date was going to be because we weren't figuring it out yet. So that was a big concern for me. I'm going to move you, but I might not be able to even do your wedding because I'll be getting married and I can't, depending on the service. With full planning, it's a little bit different because we have so much time and we usually have it in advance. But with the month of coordination, I can't take on a client who's a week after my wedding because that means, the month before I'm kind of focusing on my own wedding. And, I will, and that happened last year. I had to say no to so many clients because I just couldn't handle knowing I can't be there 100% for them. So that's just not something I was going to commit to. So with just not knowing dates, it's a very weird time, again, just on so many levels, but now, I think I've just had to change it. So I think I had given myself a month before and a month after this year. And next year, I think 2 weeks after my wedding, they start weekend after weekend, just because it's the way, and I've been lucky that they've been wanting to accommodate and to know, me being one of the ones that they wanted to keep on the team and find a date that way. So, it's already, the prime, summer dates are already booked up. And there are people who just naturally, would have thought to want to get married next year. So today I had an inquiry that's been the first inquiry in a couple of weeks because I think people are just very much spooked and they don't know, again, into the future, they don't know what's going on. But I definitely think I've had, fall clients message me in, November saying, what do we do? And I'm saying, book your people. I mean, ask them their policies, educate yourself on what those policies are from your vendors. Right. And if they have that in writing that they're going to let you postpone if, we get to whatever date and we feel that, you won't be able to have that wedding, they'll let you postpone and then you'll just deal with it that way. But definitely book things because people are postponing to those November dates, like Jenna said, or next summer or whatever. So you're just not going to have those people. So definitely for next summer, all of my clients right now, our concern is just to book their, if they have their date, they have their venue, we need to just book the team because again, the photographers and everybody is just going to be completely booked up. So it's sort of, I know people are worried and they kind of don't know, but if you think you're getting married in 2020, you absolutely have to be booking your team. And like I said, just be, like educate yourself on those policies, but just be, just know that that's kind of the commitment you do need to make to keep planning, because that's just, the rest of the world is going to keep doing it. And all this, all these postponements are going to keep happening for this year. So it's just the nature of what next year is going to be like. And it is very scary because, I mean, a lot of us, I think this is what people forget, even venues or whatever, like we're just all very small businesses. So when people hear on the news, small business support, a lot of it just doesn't apply to us because of the way we are. So, if you want us to exist in 2021 to give you that service, we have to survive through 2020. Like it's true. And I think, Jenna talked about the venues, but I think and about flexibility, and it's amazing. It's just what I've been seeing is, there's a reason why some venues just can be way more flexible than others. And if it's super popular venue that's having, 3 weddings, a day, like 5 days a week, like they're obviously trying to focus on a very technical sort of government-led response to say, okay, we cannot be physically having weddings in the next 4 weeks. So that's what we're gonna, at a time deal with.
Right.
I think they have to do that. They have no other way to do that. And I think obviously because it's so emotional, people don't really understand it that way, but that's what people have to understand. Like that's why your venue is not letting you deal with it yet, because they just can. And then, it'll just open the floodgates to everybody else.
Right.
But then on the other hand, there are venues that are just, sure, we have Saturdays, next summer and we can absolutely move you. So, that's great. But they might be having, 1 wedding a week and, it's just completely different. So, yeah, definitely just being open-minded on that. And
Yeah. Caroline, I know that similarly to Khrystyna, you have focused on your wedding. You focused on really making that a priority this year and building your business in the background of that. How for you are you thinking about and encouraging clients specifically to interact with yourself as a planner, with other planners, and with vendors and venues in regards to booking 2020 and 2021 and that perspective? What are you advising?
You know, so like you said, I am fairly new to this industry. I launched my business in October of 2019. So I didn't have many of my own clients this summer, which I thought was great because then yes, I could focus on my own wedding.
Right.
Hence why I kind of want to keep it in 2020 because I don't have so many of my own, and 2021 is going to be a very busy year in the wedding industry. So I want to keep my calendar free so that I could take on clients and help them through this process. So I mean, if right now I'm trying to put out there that I will help with postponement, and if you hadn't had a planner and you would like one now to help you throughout this process and maybe just do month of coordination, month of management, like sure, I will help assist you with that. But if you want to stay in 2020, I think we should still try. But if you can move to 2021, I think that's great. Go ahead and do that. And I'll be here to help you in 2021. Hopefully, I would like to, have my schedule free because I took off. My wedding was supposed to be in June, so I completely didn't take anything for June at all. I was going to fly home to Miami and be there the whole month, and then we were going to go on our honeymoon straight away to French Polynesia. So we would have been back in the middle of April, and I was like, okay, great, that's right, in the middle of wedding season, and I'll be back to help people, help assist you with weddings and other people, other wedding planners that I'm helping. So it was great, but now everything's kind of been pushed back. So
yeah, 100%. So for you, Ashley, in a different perspective, and your business, because we've talked about your business and how it blossomed and all the things that got you to where you are, what are you, on the flip side of that, as somebody who has dealt with a lot of things, not just this year, but you have dealt with tragedies in the past as well and helped couples through that. What are you advising? What are you looking at this and booking and advising your couples and new couples?
So for new couples, first and foremost, I always get them to get wedding insurance. And a lot of the times people don't even know about wedding insurance. Now, I know that doesn't cover the pandemic that we're dealing with right now, but it does cover a lot of different issues that can arise. In regards to what we're dealing with right now, I like to offer what I call Plan C for two reasons. You have your Plan A and you have your Plan B in the case that the weather doesn't work out the way that you had imagined. Your Plan C comes after that, but it also works out as your Plan COVID. So you've already come up with two amazing plans. You just have to transfer that to your next step. And that's what I've been helping my clients with. You're building another foundation for another event that you're trying to create. So I remind them that, you've booked with me. I'm here for you. I'm your therapist. I'm your friend. I'm a listening ear. I'm a shoulder to cry on. And that's something that as a planner, I like to remind my clients of. They're not in this alone. I'm there with them every step of the way. A lot of my clients who have booked wedding day management or otherwise day of coordination, they don't know what to do in these situations. I still offer my advice. I still help them where I can. I'm not going to say, sorry, like just day only. I'm there for you. I have the knowledge and I have the experience in what's happening. I'm going to share that wealth with you. And I think that's so important in helping everyone get out of this situation.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So in that regards, then, are you advising them, especially those that are, as you mentioned, like the wedding management or the people that, are only getting you for month of, are you advising them to move into 2021? Are you trying to help them navigate keeping 2020? What are you thinking there?
So I like to play with a lot of different options. I'm not going to tell them what to do. I like to feel them out. I give them my professional advice as to what's best, but at the end of the day, they get the yes or no. My earlier weddings, so April, May, they were pretty easy. They rescheduled right away. But I have couples getting married in September who are like, what should we do? So we'll play it out. We'll discuss some different things. We'll have different ideas. The venue itself gives us a lot of different options where they're like, you can keep the date you have, but we're going to go with the government regulated amount of people that can be at your event. And that's not feasible for a lot of couples. Some of them have huge families. So splitting up their wedding isn't something that a lot of people want to do. And I try to advise and, you have the ceremony this day, keep it small with your immediate family, but then have an even bigger ceremony the next time. You know, you can still go all out. You can still alter it and tweak it. And what better way to make your special day so different from what you've seen in magazines and on TV and in social media. This is your way to just kind of vamp it up and change it. I really try to twist every negative to some crazy positive in some way. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't jump and I say, oh, definitely do it next year. Especially when we have our later date couples getting really worried about what's happening. We can't say much. We don't know what's going on as of right now. We know just as much as they do. So it's something that has to be reminded, it comes in, priority. So whoever's wedding comes first and then we go from there. But I give them options, you could do it a later date and have a really great winter wedding, or you can have it next year and try to do that same fall wedding that I know you had your heart set on because you love the color of the leaves.
Right.
So they do have options. I don't push for anything in particular. I do offer advice and let them know that no matter what they pick at the end of the day, they can still have that dream wedding.
Yeah, 100%.